So it was here in Gettysburg that I really started my journey as an author. We came on a family vacation here in 2003 or 4, and it was an awesome trip for so many reasons. But what hits me the hardest was the story of the civilians, specifically 20-year-old Jenny Wade. I wanted to read more, learn more, and I personally do that best by reading fiction. But I couldn't find any, so the young history nerd in me decided to write my own. It took about 10 years, and I had to complete college and start with my teaching job, but eventually I was able to do it. Every time I come back here, I think not just of the civilians, but every person who lived here during the war. I think of their hopes, their dreams, their misbeliefs, their fears, and their struggles. And it's their stories that need to be told. Hey, at least the weather here is slightly historically accurate. It was raining on this day 161 years ago. So I'm here at Sachs Bridge, where in July 4th of 1861, Lee's army crosses that bridge behind me after the battle in order to go back home to Virginia. The more time I spend here and talk to people, the more I appreciate the sacrifices of those who came before me. People tell me all the time how they didn't like history when they were in school and it was so boring to them, and that really hurts my heart, especially as a history teacher myself. So luckily, many of them follow up that statement with something about how they want to learn more now that they're older, and so that is a good thing to hear. And that's what I want to do with my own writing. My books are historic fiction, but just because they're fiction doesn't mean that they're not based off of real people. All of my books have at least one actual historic figure whom I learned about and was touched by their story. Women like Jenny Wade, Kate Corbin, Mary Greene, Molly Tatum, Kate Sperry, and all the people who didn't just fight, but lived through the war and struggled. This includes soldiers who went through the immense struggles, spies who risked their lives for little or no glory, and civilians who had little or nothing to do with starting the war and were just trying to survive it. I've learned so much about these civilians, and I'd love to talk more about them, so let me know in the comments if you want that or have suggestions. Again, the more I learn about the Civil War, the more I realize how much more there is to know. There are so many civilians and soldiers who deserve to have their story told, and it's these people, in my opinion, who make history interesting. As humans, we learn through stories, so it's through ordinary people like this that I like to look at history through. They've fascinated me from the beginning and continue to do so. And that's why I wrote The War Shall Rise Against Me, my first novel, as well as my entire Civil War novels. And it's also why I'll continue to do so.